Now, what do you have to say for yourself?
Did I miss something?
Since we're here to gather flowers for the dead, I thought I'd teach Manfred some plant names. But I just caught him attempting to wade into a rose bush.
That must have been frustrating.
He knows he's not supposed to play in the horticulture. Oh, Manfred. Whatever will happen to you if I pass on?
If?
There's something I'd like to talk about. Do you know what a lich is, Rook?
Doesn't ring a bell.
A lich is a mage transformed into one of the undead while retaining their true, original consciousness. The idea fascinated me when I was younger. For years, I researched and experimented, spoke with spirits and mages. Then, eventually, I found them.
Who?
The Lich Lords of the Grand Necropolis. Necromancers before me who'd transformed themselves into true living dead.
Well, not everyone gets to meet their idols.
Oh, but I was nervous. The Liches are the great protectors of the necropolis, bulwarks against forces that threaten creation. After years of tests and rituals, they granted me my desire, the right to attempt lichdom.
If that's what you want.
I'd anticipated more surprise.
Emmerich, you live in a haunted necropolis.
Lichdom is an incredible honor. Immortality, prestige, the most hallowed ranks of the Watchers, as well as a chance to be of service past my allotted years. But there are considerations. Come, we have flowers to gather for the dead.
Okay, but I've got questions.
Blue creepvine. This will do nicely.
Emmerich, aren't most undead just random spirits inside corpses?
Liches are different. It wouldn't be a spirit acting in my name. My true consciousness would be housed in my departed flesh.
How?
The Order must keep some secrets. Moon blossoms, famed in verse and song.
Smells like perfume. Do liches have a sense of smell?
I've been told that while some of my senses will dull, others will become available. Other than that, I can't say if the flowers would still hold their bloom for me. Lichdom serves a purpose. There are dark things in creation, threats to both our world and the Fade. The Liches of the Necropolis have the insight and the abilities to oppose them.
And you're joining them when?
Certain elements have held me back. There's no ready instructions for lichdom. The steps must be discovered on one's own over years to be fully understood.
Does the spell to become a lich kill you, or do you have to...
No, mercifully, that falls to another Watcher. After my death, my soul will be drawn back into my body instead of moving on to whatever lies beyond.
So, what's holding you back from lichdom?
Even with all my preparations, there's a chance I could die permanently during the rites. What cowardice! The promise of immortality, an end to all my fears, and the final veil stays my hand.
That's reasonable. Lots of people are afraid of dying.
Is it? When it keeps me from what I most desire? Traditionally, candidates for lichdom face one final sifting of the soul. If they avoid it, you saw my old colleague.
Hezenkos. She's a lich.
A half-lich, though that hasn't diminished her powers. Until I stop her plans, I won't possess the peace of mind for lichdom. Why don't you select the next flowers, Rook?
Sure. So what's a half-lich exactly?
Johanna attempted the rites of lichdom and failed. Stuck in her in-between state, she is supremely dangerous, but can't learn any new magic.
No wonder Hezenkos was shouting so much.
Oh, she's always been that way.
What about the sifting of a soul that Hezenkos avoided?
The spirits of the necropolis judge whether a candidate is worthy of the power and responsibility of lichdom.
How'd she become a lich without it?
I shared some knowledge when we were colleagues. She apparently put together more than I knew. It would be just like her to skip the rituals, the cleansings, the preparations of the soul.
For a watcher, Hezenkos is pretty harsh on spirits.
We made allowances because of her discoveries. Too many. Spirits are not things to be disposed of.
You really care about them?
They're so susceptible to the world's whims, Rook. Some spirits are dangerous, but how quickly most respond to a bit of kindness or care, or simple attempt to understand. For all she's done, I can't condemn Johanna for attempting lichdom. That freedom from mortality, that divorce from fear. And of course, time to read all of one's books.
Every mage's dream.
But how she's abused her abilities. Are my intentions enough to fare better?
Worrying's a good sign.
We have enough flowers. There's something I'd like to show you. Here we are.
Oh, so these flowers are for...
Yes. If you could place them on the graves, please.
In memory of Rupert and Eleonora Volkarin, they walk eternity hand in hand.
After I became a watcher, I erected a proper shrine to my parents. When I come to talk, I like to think they listen. Well, don't be shy. Introduce yourself.
Rook, it's a pleasure. Do you remember your parents?
Some memories are bright. Others are akin to those dim early morning dreams one gets sometimes. Lately, I wondered what they'd think of our current course, the choices ahead.
Your lichdom?
What would they have wanted me to be?
I can tell you what I think they'd want you to be.
What's that?
Happy. You could always speak with your folks, couldn't you?
My parents last saw me as a boy. By the time I mastered my corpse whispering, I was a man. If I woke them, there might be a flash of recognition, or... Besides, if I speak to too many other spirits, Manfred might grow jealous.
Can't have that.
He'd be impossible, I agree.
Father gives me an allowance.
Those missing buskers performed here. Let's see what we can find. You found something? About Ilario?
Possibly.
What do you mean, possibly? You have something or you don't?
It's Caterina.
We don't know that for certain.
Tell me.
I've got my eyes on Villa della Morte. One of them brought back one of Caterina's rings.
It had been thrown out with the trash. Ilario would never do that. He'd at least pawn it somewhere.
You think Caterina threw the ring away as a message that she's inside the house?
Her opal ring. Lucanis, you know what that means.
She gave that ring to my mother. It was the mark of her favor. House Velardo killed my parents and sent it back to Caterina to demand she surrender the seat of First Talon. She's alive. Ilario, you idiot.
We need more eyes in the villa to say for certain.
Ilario would tear the city apart searching if he'd lost this. How could she be alive? What is he thinking? How am I supposed to deal with this?
We need to plan a rescue. The sooner we get Caterina out of there, the better.
It could be a trap. We have to deal with Ilario first.
He could still kill her if we move against him. Maker knows what's in his head.
V, you're too pessimistic for your own good. Reason with him, Lucanis.
I thought I had a clear shot at my target. What if I go after him and get Caterina killed? Help us.
What do you need?
He'll listen. He always listens to you. Come.
What did you do? Is this the Fade? It seems different. It isn't like those fragments of Solus's past in the Crossroads either.
Lucanus is here. Always. Behind locked doors. I can't break through.
All right. Let's go get him.
I was supposed to have a useful demon, and instead I have a useless abomination. Wonderful!
I know this place. It's the ossuary. The prison we freed Lucanus from.
Freed? No. We've always been here.
Right. It's not the real ossuary, but it doesn't seem like a memory either. Lucanus is in here somewhere, right? He's... what, where they kept his blood?
Yes, go there. But the locks everywhere. I can't touch them.
How do I get past the locks? Turn myself into a mouse? Fight a bunch of giant spiders?
By getting past the guards. It's a prison.
Right. What was I thinking?
Promoted from flying vermin to malicious spirit. Whatever will you become next, I wonder?
Nobody's here.
Of course not. Rook can't. I can't believe it. You're home.
Magister Zara was far more benevolent than you deserved, Crow.
Rock, did you forget our deal? You were to bring my grandson back to me.
I did?
You brought me an abomination. Where is my grandson?
Tenderness and terror. Rage and relief. Old stale fear of disappointment.
This is the Fade, so this Katerina is... a spirit? Something like that?
No, Lucanus is mine. They won't dare. Thoughts live here. Ideas, feelings.
She's his idea of Katerina, then. Katerina, Lucanus is trapped, but I think you're part of his way out. Lucanus may have changed, but he's still the little boy you loved and raised.
He's not changed. He's possessed by a demon.
And you would never think of rejecting him, whatever happened, would you?
My poor boy.
What trouble you've been. When the demon emerges, let me have his entrails, my lady.
Don't worry, Rook. I've got my eye on the prisoner.
You've conjured up a friendly face, Lucanus, but your real friends and allies need you in the real world.
Rook, are you sure Spite isn't tricking you? What if there's no Lucanus, just the demon?
After a year in the ossuary, you might believe that, but you're no demon.
Look around. This isn't the mind of a human being, let alone an Antivan Crow.
You're the man you were, Lucanus, even buried in this pain. No demon would punish itself like this.
You really shouldn't trust anything you find in the Fade.
I trust you, Lucanus, and I trust myself to get you home. Let me.
You know that's the kind of attitude that's gonna get you killed, right?
I'll risk it. I have a master assassin on my side, don't I?
Just be careful.
Cousin, stop. You can't dwell on this. It'll drive you mad.
Couldn't you simply die already? This experiment has gone on for far too long.
Hey, Rook. Should you be here? Can't say it's the safest place in the world.
Stomach-churning excitement. Dread with a hint of hope. A long way to fall.
Somehow I thought Lucanus would think of Nev as being more... Tevinter?
Tevinter? People come in three kinds. Family, enemies, contracts.
I hope that's just spite talking. Nev, you need to let us pass.
You know how he is, Rook. Even if you open the door, Lucanus won't walk through it. This is where he wants to be.
Lucanus always has a choice. If he can't see that, I'm here to show him.
You really think you can help him? You're such a sap, Rook.
I think it's time you stood aside and let me try.
Envy is the rarest of all demons, most challenging to cultivate. The conditions must be perfect.
I get one of you back, only to lose the other. Rook, you're too good to be wasting your time in a place like this. Forget about my cousin. You've got much more important things to worry about, don't you? You've got the weight of the world on your shoulders. Sharp, jagged edges. Hurt with every breath. Grief and relief. Hope and anger mixed.
Lucanus, you don't owe Ilario a second thought, much less a supporting role.
He put us here. You've got to leave this be, Rook. You turn my cousin loose, it's only going to cause more grief.
I think Ilario will be feeling that grief. Right, Lucanus?
You know that Katarina had 5 children? 8 grandchildren, all dead now, except for Lucanus and me. Last time the Grows fought a war of succession, House de la Morte lost everything. Except the seat of First Talon. This time, we fight ourselves. What will be left then? You think you'll survive? Your friends? Your cause?
There's no alternative. There's going to be a confrontation, and it's not going to end well.
A year he spent in this hole, in darkness, dreaming of escape. Just to come home to kill his only family for a job he never wanted. Do you really think he made a deal with a demon? He's not even a mage. Or do you think maybe he just found the one there already? He'll carry this prison with him forever, and he'll fill it with corpses given time.
We need out!
You're an Antivan Crow, Lucanus. A professional. Trained to avoid collateral damage and go after the real enemy.
You have no idea what the consequences will be.
Whatever they are, Lucanus, I'll be there to help you.
If I were in charge, you wouldn't have to do this anymore.
What are you doing here, Rook?
Lucanus.
I have not moved. There's nowhere to go.
You see? He breaks our agreement. His mind is still here. He wants to stay here, so he keeps me here!
Mierda! Why would I want to stay? Even in my head, this place is a nightmare.
Right, but it's a nightmare you already defeated. I get it now. As bad as the ossuary was for you, it was better than the alternative.
What alternative?
The ossuary, Zara. You could solve those problems with a blade. But healing again? Living as an abomination? There's no simple answer there. And if you fail, you could hurt the ones you love.
No! This is not...
Damn it, Rook!
Make him leave!
He's trying to leave, Spite. It's complicated. Mortals can't just change ourselves. It takes a lot of time.
Rook, you're right. There has to be a way through this. It's just so much. I cannot see how to begin.
Start small, you and Spite. Figure out a goal you can both agree on, then make it happen.
A contract?
Contracts are for clients. Call this an alliance. But on what terms?
Didn't you just learn your grandmother was alive? What are you waiting for? Go rescue her.
That's true.
Fighting crows?
And anyone else that gets in our way. Do we have a deal? We free Katarina together.
Together, we will fight!
Rook, are you all right?
What's the matter with the two of you?
We worked some things out, that's all. How long were we standing here?
Just long enough for it to get awkward. You're sure you're all right?
We're fine, Thea. Don't waste your worry on us. Can I trust the two of you to keep an eye on Ilario? If he starts anything, I want to know about it.
I was going to do that anyway.
You're planning something.
I'm getting Katarina back. But Viago is right. We need more information before we move. Ilario panicked when I came back alive. If he panics again, he could actually kill her this time. We'll only get one chance at this.
Those missing buskers performed here. Let's see what we can find. These meetings can't be good for business. I'm here, Inquisitor. It isn't just Inquisitor, is it? You were someone before that.
Clan Llewellyn. We try to be no one you've heard of. Morrigan is holding a perimeter. We're alone. Tell me what Solus did at Elganon's ritual.
Sounds like you already know.
I need to hear it from you.
Elganon raised his archdemon. Solus got us out of there. We saved a lot of people.
You sound grateful.
Why not? He really did help.
It seems so. He's always thinking about where it ends. How many of his names do you know? God of Lies, Dreadwolf, Fen'Harel. They're titles he earned from enemies, followers, and fractured history. I once called him by another name. Friend.
Some friend?
Do you always agree with your friends?
We're pretty aligned on whether or not to destroy the world, if that's what you mean.
I'll never excuse what he's done. He's killed people I held dear, you know this too.
But...
he became those names when he fought gods. And regret for his world turned into destroying ours. Sound familiar?
You're making us sound like Solus. That's uncomfortable.
We're not like our enemy. They're making us do this.
Simple as one of Varric's morals. Don't become what you hate.
Or trapped by what we've lost. Also one of his. Tell me about the team you've built.
Are they a concern, or...?
You're handling things. This part, what you have now, I just miss the banter about friends.
Those missing buskers performed here. Let's see what we can find.
Hey, Rook. I'm around if you need me. There's Dangerous Fanatics, then there's Aelia. She's loose in Docktown. And we're in the dark.
What's the plan?
The Threads and Aelia's Venatori are at war. That might slow Aelia down, but until I know her plans, I need to hear whatever information the Threads pick up.
What about Rana? Can she help?
I told Rana that Aelia's back. She needs the warning. As for help, Rana wants to be an example. Not sure where that goes anymore.
You're worried about her?
I'm worried about everyone. Tired enough to admit it.
Docktown's protected. What can the Threads do for you?
Aelia's a pain for both of us. Let's talk.
We know people in this town. Neighbors. When they don't turn up on the rounds, we notice. Aelia used the Threads for dirty work. Stolen relics, muscle, spies. These people, they disappear.
And you don't know where to.
Aelia's good at covering her tracks. That's why you're here. I've got names of missing people, including those hardly anyone noticed yet. All yours, no catch.
We can't let Aelia do this. If what she did to the Threads was an opening act...
We won't like the show.
This is war. We find Aelia, we kill her. Give the cult something to think about. You find her, you do the same. Docktown's ours.
To Docktown. From the people who breathe it, bleed for it, no one's got its back like we do.
To a better Docktown. And doing the best we can till then.
You go far.
To home.
Those missing buskers performed here. Let's see what we can find.
Stopped the Antam, took down their comic maker. They did your job for you. They're a hero.
Just a meddling busybody. One who stirred up the butcher's Antam.
I can't believe you're defending them.
I am not defending anyone, Jacobus.
You're letting them be a part of this? My cousin died because the governor didn't stop the Antam from...
Jacobus.
No. I'm not going to stand around and listen to this. I'll see you later.
Well, now that unpleasantness is dealt with, about your mysterious informant.
Whoever they are, they know the Antam and Treviso.
Your message made it sound like this informant also knows where the gods are staging their ritual.
Treviso does not need this troublemaker. This should be left to proper officials.
It very much concerns Rook. We have a contact who offers access to the butcher and privileged information on the gods.
A chance to find your gods and to free the city. A prize for both our causes.
We need both. If we're strong, we can stand against anyone.
Someone else seems to think so. The contact knows the city and the Antam.
How do you know it's for real?
They gave us patrol patterns. Dreadnought arrivals. Their information is real.
And you didn't share this with me?
The bookkeepers can bookkeep when the meeting is done.
When and where do we meet?
They'll be in the market.
And they ask for me, not you or Viago.
You helped this city, and you're helping all of Thedas. You've earned respect.
We just don't know from whom.
I'll talk with this mystery contact.
And the rest of us will hope not to get caught in your crossfire again.
We fight for everyone. And the chance to strike at the gods and the Antam? It's worth the risk. Good luck, Rook. See what this mysterious informant can give us. The meeting is in the market, Rook.
They implied you can't miss them.
Try not to damage anything.
unknown contact. This is a trap.
Bold to try to trap a crow fighting the gods. I'm at least curious. If our informant actually knows where Elganon and Gillinane are performing their next ritual, it's worth the risk.
Lucanus, have you ever had a dream where you forgot you had a job to do?
And you only remember it at the last moment? All the time.
And then you go to do the job, and your teeth fall out.
For me, it's always, and then I left my boots in Treviso somehow.
The Anta make demands, friends, but so do the crows.
Let our guess.
Everything has provenance. I love meeting new clients.
Okay. Viago and Taya said our informant is somewhere in the market. Let's find them. I just hope their supposed information about the god's location is actually true.
Rook, I presume.
The Butcher!
There's no need for that. Treviso is the trap, not this meeting. Please. So tense. I promise I'll signal when it's time to fight.
Strange way to ambush someone.
I don't have to ambush anyone. You think I couldn't just march on the crows? Scattered on town flock to me. I have the soldiers to raise your casino and every inch of this city.
But I'll bet there's no profit in actually winning.
There's money being made by the occupation, but not by me. I said Treviso was the trap, and I meant it. The Jewel of Antiva. She sings even while caged. Such purity in every stone. It's trapped my heart. I love this city.
You have a strange way of showing your affection.
I conquered it. I didn't betray it. Not like the cattle born here. You know there are traitors here. They ransom their own city. Literal gods stalk the land, but these filth worship their own purses. But you're different. You crows stay true to your roles. It means something when you die, and even more when you kill. You're as much a work of art as this city. And you want a secret from me.
You're not an end-of-the-world type. Are you with the gods or not?
The gods, they give strength. But all they ask in return is everything. I can feel their corruption. I can hear their whispers. They're calling for a ritual. If I give in, I'll know where you need to go. But I will lose my jewel. My city! So... you live
Ashino. Let us make a game of this. I will become what the gods want. Welcome their whispers. Meet me and show me if the crows deserve my city.
Butcher was our contact, and he's letting himself fall to the blight? Finish them off! We need to go after the Butcher! So the Butcher wants me to prove I'm Crow enough to be worthy of Treviso. That's what's happening.
By turning himself into a monster.
Everyone's acting like normal, like the Butcher hasn't gone nuts.
Maybe it's safer to pretend he's fine.
Safer to keep your head down, I guess.
I see what you need. Prove you deserve it.
Hear the shift in his voice? He's changing.
I see. My Treviso. Do not abandon you to the traitors who gave you to me.
There's the Butcher. He's a Reaver and fighting his own Antom.
How are we gonna get information about the gods from that?
We have to hope he's still in there.
They're close.
I see you, Rook, and I see the ritual. I see Tearstone Island! The ritual! Tearstone Island!
He's gone. And he named the ritual site Tearstone Island.
The Butcher kept his word.
He got the death he wanted. Good trade, I guess. And he gave us the information we came for.
Yes, truly the Butcher was a paragon of honor and virtue, and we are all devastated to see him go.
Eventually.
And now you have a location for your final pointless confrontation. The gods are at Tearstone Island. Isn't that what you wanted? A chance to die a hero's death? So go, leave Treviso to those who deserve it.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell us, Governor?
Oh, please, just say what you're thinking.
You sold the crows out to the Antom.
I kept Treviso safe, protected. Unlike you crows, I had to think ahead. You know what the Antom did elsewhere in Antiva, and in every other city they occupied. You and your troop of fools would have gladly provoked the Antom to slaughter. I gave them the crows so they would not take the rest of the city. I gave them an inch so they would not take a mile.
Rationalize it however you want. Weight the scales so they tip in your favor. You're still a traitor who gave up on the fight, and gave up on us. You didn't prevent a slaughter. You just postponed it.
If you hadn't killed the Butcher!
Someone else would have. He decided he wasn't their pawn anymore. The gods would have killed him. And then you would be ruled by someone much, much worse.
You should have been a politician, Rook. Instead of wasting your talents with that gang of circus rejects. But this city is mine. We need a real leader. You know who else wants a leader? The Antom. And if someone plays the role they want, they are very accepting. They also understand that bringing order to Treviso requires the purging of disruptive elements that cause nothing but chaos. So go to Tearstone Island. Have your little showdown with the gods, fight your pointless battle, and leave the city to me.
It makes sense now. Every decision they made shows it.
The other officials, of course, know nothing.
Of course. I'm surprised they even remember the governor's name.
I take it you heard? The butcher's dead.
And in his place is the traitor we knew was lurking. And the Antam fell in line?
Eventually is apparently playing the role they want.
The governor has given them a clear purpose. They were more cunning than I thought.
If only we'd figured out it was Avenchi before all this started.
I wish the same. But regret does neither of us good.
We knew someone had delivered Treviso to the butcher. You brought us their name.
The hand that leashed Treviso. The butcher was the mouth, but the hand was Evenchi all along. They think they have the power in the Antam, and a network doing their will.
But we have the face of our enemy.
Evenchi will be hiding, so we will hound their Antam and make them desperate.
When the governors show themselves again, we end this.
We'll stop Evenchi.
The gods. Did you learn where they will be?
Tearstone Island. Evenchi confirmed it before they left.
We know the time to face Elgar'nan and Gillenane approaches, but it will not take us long to find Evenchi.
You are a crow, and you have suffered the governor's treachery. You should be here when we stop them.
We'll let you know when we'll make our move. And after that, Treviso will be free.